Welcome you to Bridgetown and the Barbados Football Association Technical Center as we close out League C Group A. Barbados take on the Bahamas. Good evening, everyone. Mike Watts on hand for the call under the lights in Barbados. A look at the conditions. It is going to be a windy evening, but one that should see the rain stay away. And temperatures a balmy but manageable 81 degrees Fahrenheit as we approach kickoff. Each team plays 4 games in the group, and so the U.S. Virgin Islands will remain in League C, falling to third place. Barbados have already clinched their place in League B in the upcoming Nations League campaign, while the Bahamas will seek their second win of the group and blemish what has otherwise been a near spotless Barbados record to this point. Well, when you contemplate the meaning of these League C games, you have to consider the overarching nature of historic Concacaf play in which these competitive games, with or without substantive results-based implications, were few and far between. In that sense, today is a victory for all involved. But the reality, as it pertains to this year's Concacaf Nations League, is simple. Barbados has been the class of this group.
Ladies
With
and
it, they've earned
gentlemen,
promotion
please
to League
welcome
B
to the
and have advanced to the play around. For the
2024-2025
Bahamas,
Concacaf Nations
it's a little bit
League
more unique
Group
here,
A
right?
match between
3 games played, a win, a
match
loss,
number
and a draw.
72,
They're
the
+1 in
national
goal
teams of the
differential. They
Barbados
still have the
and
possibility of
Bahamas.
promotion to League B and to advance to the play-in round based on ranking of second-place teams. They're ahead of Anguilla, but still waiting to find out the result for Turks and Caicos and Belize, which is set to begin shortly. Conversely, in Group C, the Cayman Islands already on 7 points with a -1 goal difference. Win and you top them. And so really this comes down to the Bahamas and Anguilla to try and figure all this out. If the Bahamas win, they should earn promotion regardless of their second place finish in this group. And so there is a ton to be decided for this Bahamian team, even though it's already signed, sealed, delivered for Barbados. Don't expect them to let up, not one bit. Kickoff is imminent. We'll meet the lineups, and we conclude League C Group A after we hear the national anthems. And so we're ready to begin. Concacaf Nations League C Group A, Barbados and Bahamas meet for the second time. It was a thriller last time these teams met, 3-2 in favor of Barbados. 2 goals in the waning 10 minutes. Seeing Barbados over the top, it grabbed a stranglehold of the group.
In goal, Kishmar Primus. Number 18, number 2, Ricardo Morris.
We meet the lineups as they're announced publicly here. The 2 leading scorers in Nations League C feature in this game. Niall Reed-Stephen has 5 goals, including a hat trick against the U.S. Virgin Islands. Vanderpool Nurse leads the line, and Andre Applewhite is the captain of the side. Leslie St. Fleur leading cap and goal scorer for the Bahamas.
Number 5, William Bale.
The entire match
Number
officiating
6,
crew
Michael
features
Mackey.
from the
Number
Cayman
7,
Islands.
Quentin Carey. Number 8, Christopher Ramming Jr. Number 9, Wood Jumis. Number 10, Leslie St. Fleur. Number 11, Brandon Adderley. Number 14, Omari Bain.
A photo for posterity's sake.
Gordon Cheaton. And number 16.
And a look at the lineup for the Bahamas. It's a group that features Brandon Adderley, 5 goals in the group, tied for the Golden Boot in League C. Julmus starts up front alongside Omari Bain, who features in Spain at Rayo. Adderley will start off on the right. St. Fleur captains the side. And Neslie Jean, the 39-year-old Bahamian, former full international, named the head coach 5 years ago, leads the side from the technical area. Barbados in the yellow, it's the blue for Bahamas. And one final game in League C Group A. The U.S. Virgin Islands eliminated, defeated in all 3 of their matches. Barbados through as the group winner, 3 wins from 3. There's the opening whistle, and we are underway. The Bahamas get the first touch in this substantive figure in League C Group A. Neither country has shown the highest level of Concacaf Nations League. However, both have spent as much time in League B as they have League C to this point. The whistle goes as Holligan began to run it upfield, and a free kick to the Bahamas. Only a win in 11 matches in Nations League B for the Bahamas, relegated after a winless stint in the last Nations League cycle. Ball thrust free by Barbados. They're going back to Nations League B, where they spent the last 2 years, but won just 1 of 12 matches. Finished last in a group with Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, and Montserrat, the most recent edition of the tournament. One over by Mario Williams. Weymouth Wales FC, home to 5 of the 11 starters, including both starting center backs tonight and the goalkeeper, Kishmar Primus. The Bahamas were slated to host the September matches in this group, however unavailable to do so. The U.S. Virgin Islands hosted those games. Barbados hosting this week-long endeavor with a trio of matches. Turning down Hinkson off the right, Williams. Flag raised. Hayden Holligan a bit over-aggressive. Top 5 leading cap getter, Barbados. Williams a heavy touch. Stayed wide, Cheatham looked in. This chipped back, wrong siding the goalkeeper. And a self-inflicted wound, a corner conceded to the Bahamas. Corner whipped in. Skew by Ricardo Morris. Chip to the halfway line. Strong-willed header onto Leacock. Was capped forward in the group. Reed Stephen. It's been a menace throughout this tournament. And now a defensive knock over the end line the other way. Ball driven back post and speared into the turf and out. There was a late change for Bahamas in their lineup. Jonathan Miller dropped to the bench. The U.S.-based 26-year-old player was replaced by William Gardner, features at the University of Tampa in the United States. Bouncing ball in behind. Contact galore continues. Turning atop the 6, opening goal. The Bahamas, with so much to play for, have bagged the opener. And Brandon Adderley scores his 6th of the tournament. Most in League C. And precisely the goal that the Bahamas needed. What a start for the Bahamas, who've now scored 9 goals in this group and seen 6 come from Adderley. Simple stick-to-itiveness, grinding away at Williams and sneaking it by Brathwaite.
Goal for
the Bahamas ahead.
Number 11, Brandon Adderley, in the 6th minute.
That's a dream beginning for the Bahamas. Pushed upfield by Brathwaite. Stumbling through the challenge and now through Reed Stephen. Reed Stephen, tight angle kick save. Follow cleared away and then blasted in. Barbados on level terms. He's fine. Andre Applewhite, who scored the winner against the Bahamas in the first meeting in the group, has pulled Barbados level. An excellent initial save from Michael Butler. And Applewhite just continued to pour down until he found the equalizer. Vanderpool Nurse was looking for a pretty extraordinary finish. In the end, the clearance falls kindly. And, well, this group, which has given so many goals, has offered 2 in the opening 8 minutes, 1 each way. Game on. And an errant elbow cedes the ball back to Barbados.
Step one, Mikey. Step off, Mikey. 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 You gotta step up.
Gardiner. Bain. Commits a foul. So goes against Bain. Touched over to Jolmis. Roming Jr. Bates. That bails. Shoulder-to-shoulder contact, no whistle. Up to Bales, the 21-year-old English-based player, Bruton Parker College. "10 minutes gone, and if you've missed any of this game, you've missed quite a lot." Andre Applewhite equalizing in the 8th after the Brandon Adderley goal in the 6th. Leacock. Space opened up straight now into the width. Sent across. And this crowd in Barbados hang on every moment in the early going. Well cleared. Ball across from Hinkson. We'll have a second bite of the apple. None better than the first. Well, the group is settled. The Bahamas are after the best second place finish. Barbados promoted already by virtue of 9 points from 9. Tough slide, penalty. A penalty conceded to Barbados. Quentin Carey arguing the point. And the official, an instant whistle. That's the captain, Leslie St. Fleur, catching Niall Reed-Stephen. Said that the top two goal scorers in League C are featuring in this game. Brandon Adderley scored the opener for the Bahamas. Niall Reed-Stephen could pull Barbados ahead a matter of 6 minutes later. It'll be about 7 minutes between the goals. In the midst of it, Andre Applewhite, the captain for Barbados, pulled the side level. Niall Reed-Stephen against Michael Butler. Reed-Stephen, Butler off the inside of the netting. Barbados ahead. And they've turned the whole thing around. What started as a dream for the Bahamas has quickly become a nightmare. They led for less than 2 minutes, and now 7 minutes after the opening goal, they are behind. And Michael Butler made contact nearly enough. Instead, sneaks inside the post. 2-1 Barbados. Well, what a wild game we've been offered here to close out League C Group A. Mario Williams saying it was his arm that was grabbed. Ultimately, it is a Bahamian free kick. William Bales puts his right hand up. Ultimately, this smash to the back post, and decent ball at that. Will leak out over the end line for a corner. Couldn't be saved by Hoyt. For the Bahamas, win and in. Promoted with a victory by virtue of best second place finish. And they led this game. It's all gone horribly wrong. They can equalize again. Settled. Not going to get that whistle, nor was it touched. That's impossible, shouts someone on the Bahamian bench. Jordan Cheatham features in Florida at Montverde Academy. Trots back. Mentioned a couple players with connections to the Florida area, Montverde and the University of Tampa in the case of William Gardner. Of course, they've undergone the horrific conditions that those in the Caribbean know all too well from recent hurricanes. They've ravaged areas of the Gulf Coast of Florida. Hurricane Helene followed shortly thereafter by Hurricane Milton, which has certainly had a massive impact on the professional soccer game. Still, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, one of the more famous brands in American soccer, haven't been able to play at home. And they've just moved their next fixture this coming weekend to North Carolina. Tampa Bay Sun, the newly minted side, the USL Super League, trying to figure out their next option. Meanwhile, in Central Florida, the Orlando Pride had to vacate their venue for a handful of days to evade Hurricane Milton as well. Ball in behind. Keeper went for it. And Primus ensures he makes no contact. Decent ball down the line. Look at the streaking Hinkson. Eventually out of real estate.
Come on.
Adderley helping to force this back into the air. Finally corralled. And down goes Raming Jr. The additional kick after of the ball as the Bahamians incensed. St. Fleur appears to be trying to settle things, and 20 minutes in, a lot of hand fighting. Well, here's the foul, which is tough enough on its own. That's a painful one. But that, from Carl Hinkson, is deserving of at least a yellow. The yellow card was going to come out regardless. There's the yellow to Hinkson. The way he paused before kicking the ball, we see it in slow motion. There's the yellow for the tackle to Nicole Brathwaite. But it's pretty difficult to understand what Carl Hinkson was attempting to do there, truly. The fourth official is dictating, yes, another yellow. This is Michael Massey in the aftermath. So a trio of yellow cards handed out. Hinkson and Brathwaite, the right side of the Barbados defense, are on yellows, and now Michael Massey in the Bahamas midfield shown yellow. Well, that should add a little spice, as if the September meeting between these teams that finished 3-2 didn't. Reed Stephen from the penalty spot in the 14th after Applewhite equalized from the Adderley goal in the 6th. Bahamas playing since 1970, 55 years now of senior international football.
Ladies and
FIFA
gentlemen,
ranks them the 205th team in the world. They've never qualified for Gold Cup.
Barbados in the 20th minute. Yellow card issued to number 20.
This hit backward.
In the 20th minute.
And a late whistle
issued to
sees
number
that
6,
as a
Michael
foul.
Massey of the Bahamas in the 22nd minute.
Hayden Holligan can't quite believe it. Thought he'd swiped this cleanly, and I don't disagree with that. I really don't. It seems like a harsh step to be able to get across his body that way, but he does seem to get all ball and really none of the player. But in the old basketball adage, ball don't lie. Barbados in control in the moment. Primus. Return from Brathwaite. Adderley offering half-hearted pressure. And the push sees possession back to Barbados. Held up by Vanderpool Nurse and brought all the way back to Primus. Over 30 caps in goal now for Barbados. Side that's been playing for nearly a century. FIFA's 175th ranked team. They have never qualified for Gold Cup. Sent away by Butler. Got a hand on the Reed-Stephen penalty, but ultimately guided it inside the post and into side netting. Good ball through, and there's the third for Barbados. Oh, that is really slick. Barbados 3-1. And Sharon Hoyt has made it 3 unanswered.
Goal for Barbados, number 6, Sharon Hoyt in the 26th minute.
And the Bahan Tridents, a trio of goals in short order. Sharon Hoyt in the 26th minute. To Reed-Stephen at the spot in the 14th. Applewhite in the 8th. Stem this soon, or the Bahamas will have too deep a hole from which they can recover. The Cayman Islands are watching, surely. They've already played their 4 games. They're on 7 points. Promotion to League B and advancement to the play-in round remains within their grasp. And for the Bahamas, it draws in enough. Truly, they need 3 goals, and that mountain may continue to grow at this rate. playing around the two bottom teams from each group, League A. Top 4 teams in League C. The group winners decided St. Kitts and Nevis are going up, Belize is going up, and yes, Barbados is going up. The Bahamians got the first shot of this game and scored it in the 6th. Barbados have the last 6 and scored 3 of them. That through ball cut out en route to Hinkson. Kind deflection, although Leacock took it back. Reed Stephen, chipped in by Hinkson. Touched out by Leacock. Driving, firing, Butler holds on. Applewhite scored the winner against the Bahamas, scored the equalizer here in the second meeting between the two in the group. Sent a missile toward Butler. Cleared away, carry. Hinkson got a growing roll off the right-hand side. Barbados showing tremendous speed. Hinkson dives out of the challenge from Bales. Touched over, chance for a real strike at this. Leacock still. That has the crowd hemming and hawing. Bain. They're packed all the way in. Barbados Football Association's training center. Brathwaite. Clever touch, Holligan through midfield. Intervention with Vanderpool Nurse pursuing. Gliding atop the penalty area. And ultimately ultimately wide from Monty Leacock. Pushing forward again, Hinkson. Oh, there. Reed Stephen. He hasn't had many things go wrong in this group. 6 goals leads the way, but a bit beneficial. That fence just tall enough. He'd be replacing that ball. Ooh. Free kick. Barbados over aggressive Quentin Carey. Maintaining through contact, advantage played. Snuffed out by Bales, they'll bring it all the way back.
It's offside!
Well, you can hear and see the players for the Bahamas saying it was offside. Should have negated any foul. Reed Stephen sets the ball. Scoring from here would be his crowning achievement in League C. Reed Stephen off the wall. Quaffed over by Andre Applewhite. Applewhite wide. Served across, contact. Good save by Butler on Hinkson, but it never would have counted. That Vanderpool nurse. Cross from Hoyt. Scored in the 26th minute. Wonderful effort by Michael Butler. Be lost to the sands of time. Barbados trying to go a perfect 4-0-0 in the group. Bahamas know they needed a win tonight. And they would guarantee a place in League B for the upcoming campaign, making it a yo-yo in Nations League, much like Barbados. 1 year down, relegated, and immediately back up. Brathwaite. Primus. Speared away from Hinkson. Brathwaite in reverse. Fed all the way to the end line, and a corner.
All right, let's mark it up. Hey, let's mark it up. Don't worry about it. Nicolay, defend.
A draw would ultimately leave the Bahamas short of the Cayman Islands, who already have 7 points. Corner through, not to be from Massey. Second clearance a bit stronger than the first. Throw to Massey in the Bahamas. Here's Gardner. St. Fleur. Escaped past Massey. Brathwaite, big switch. White will work off the left. Sought Vanderpool Nurse. Good through ball down the right for the Bahamas. And laced across the face of goal. Circulated back to the top of the 18 with a leading touch. Barbados has quelled it for the moment. High arcing cross to the backside. Kept in remarkably. And now the foul. Oh, wow. Brandon Adderley was waiting in front of goal and it soared over him. And a fairly acrobatic effort. Keep that in at any rate. Look at this feat of athleticism. Was Adderley who kept that in. And Wood Jolness was standing at the post. Adderley. Deflected, rolled wide. Kind deflection and struck from distance.
Guys, don't force the ball into Manny. Work it around so we can get it into Manny.
5 minutes to halftime. Adderley scoring the opener in the 6th. Applewhite followed by Reed Stephen at the spot and Hoyt. Barbados 3-1 ahead. The Bahamas will need a legendary kind of comeback if they get to halftime 2 goals down. To advance out of the group, they need to win this game. Well, they've scored now 9 goals in this group. To expect 3 in 45 minutes, a big ask. No whistle as Bales took it away. Immediately lost by Christopher Roming Jr. Ball touch through. Could there be a 4th? At least not yet, no. Bahamas splaying out. The diagonal ball opens up play. Bain. Bain across, deflects in! The Bahamas get one back before halftime. Michael Massey, right place, right time. 3 goals to 2. It is the scoreline of the last meeting between these teams, but then that took 90 minutes. This takes just 43. There's the previous goal scored by Sharon Hoyt. It made it 3-1. And now Massey in the 43rd minute has kept the Bahamas in this match. Got a deflection on that, and Karam's out of play. Good work by Bain. Wow, what a goal. The deflection off of Brathwaite,
Own goal for
notwithstanding.
Barbados, scored by
Perhaps it goes wide,
scored
but
by number 20, Nikolai Brathwaite, in the 43rd minute.
Nikolai Brathwaite, the own goal, has now been deemed. You can see that deflection sent it spinning back on frame. Advantage played, not all that much. A little surprised that that didn't come back as we had seen on the other end previously. The Cayman Islands are sweating right now. Back to St. Fleur. Touched wide by Ronning Jr. Available on the other end. Broken up by Mario Williams. Brathwaite, Primus, Williams. 2 added minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the sideline has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time in the first half.
Barbados looking to strike again before the half. Reed Stephen touches over. Reed Stephen attacks. A one tackle by Jordan Cheatham. And 2 players down. Cheatham now being attended to as well. Well, for having nothing to play for, tell that to Barbados. They've put on a show. 8 goals now in 2 games on home ground in this window. And the Bahamas, knowing that a win would see them through, did score first, did lead. All of 2 minutes. As halftime approaches, they are still within a goal, an equalizer, but that truthfully does them no good. They still need 2 more. And they'll have a multitude of time to do it.
Nah, it wasn't the shin guards.
Don for Holligan, out for a corner, and likely the last action of the first half should come on this set piece. Ooh, didn't even let them get the ball across. The short corner, not appreciated. And that is halftime in Barbados. Well, blink and you missed it. A hugely entertaining 45 minutes of football. 5 goals scored, bookended Bahamian goals around a trio of Barbados goals.
Ladies and gentlemen, the halftime
From the
score
Bahan
is
Trident.
Barbados 3, Bahamas 2.
So Applewhite, Reed Stephen, and Hoyt for Barbados. Massey sees his shot deflected from Brathwaite, the 43rd, for an own goal. The opener came from Adderley in the 6th. Halftime in Barbados in a must-win for the Bahamas and a swan song for Barbados in League C. Barbados 3, Bahamas 2.
Okay, I still get out. What's your point? Get over that boy back in the dressing room.
Well, it appears we have the game of League C on our hands here in Barbados. Mike Watts on hand as we continue our action from Group A, this affecting every group, but primarily the Cayman Islands. The best second place finish would belong to the Bahamas with a victory, but they still need to find a way forward here against the Barbados side that's been perfect in the group to this point. They've already secured promotion to League B. A look to the touchline and a touch of the watch. Should take us into the second half. Rain starting to fall here. Onto the second 45 in Barbados. Barbados 3, Bahamas 2. Well, it took just 6 minutes for the first goal, 8 for 2, 14 for 3. A wild happenstance of a first half. And now we see if the Bahamas have the fight in them to advance out of the group. Ball through. Maybe it's right out of halftime. That's deflected by Primus. It takes a huge skip up off the turf. Prevents a second chance for the Bahamas. They nearly equalized 30 seconds out of the break. One wonders if any Cayman players have any fingernails left the way this game is advanced through 46 minutes. Non-stop action, which is exciting to all, with those supporting that team and in that team. For the moment, they're through to League B. But it's a flimsy moment at that. Nearly an equalizer right out of the break. Morris glides through. Morris continues. Unimpeded and gave it away of his own volition. Heavy touch leads to a poor clearance. Gliding into the penalty area, that ball deflected. Follow-up goes in. Barbados have their fourth, a 2-goal lead restored. Amani Leacock. 4 goals to 2 Barbados. It seemed impossible. How could they score any sooner than they did in the first half, these teams? And they have. Takes a matter of 2 minutes.
Goal for Barbados, scored by number 9, Omani Leacock, in the 47th minute.
Steam the 47th minute. 2 minutes out of halftime. 4 goals to 2. And again, the Bahamas need 3. They must win this game to get out of the group. A draw not enough. Switch from Hoyt. Hold up play near midfield. Advantage played as Hoyt goes down. Spinning in the turf. Vanderpool Nurse. Tackled, free kick. And an injured player on that challenge from behind, catching Andre Applewhite. Quick yellow to Applewhite. Features at Coastal Bend Community College, previously in Texas. Third player for Barbados placed on caution. Applewhite, Hinkson, and Brathwaite. And the first yellow card given outside of the one ugly incident in the 21st minute. Vanderpool Nurse, tough slide by St.
Ladies
Fleur.
and gentlemen, a yellow card has been issued to number 3, Andre Applewhite from Barbados, in
Holding
the
on
51st minute.
Was Julmus. He is a long way from where he needs to be. Foot raise here. We're back to Primus and right back up the gut. 6 minutes out of halftime. Barbados restoring a 2-goal lead. The Bahamas haven't come particularly close to scoring outside of the 2 goals that they did manage, which of course has to be a cause for real concern, knowing that they'll need 3 to get out. Otherwise, it's the Cayman Islands that'll be celebrating at the end of the night. Extended down the right line, ball across, tap back across the face of goal and in. And Barbados is running away with it now. Andre Applewhite's second of the game. Barbados 5, Bahamas 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, goal for Barbados scored by number 3, Andre Applewhite, in the 52nd minute.
Did the Cayman Islands just book their ticket into Nations League B? The Bahamas fallen too far behind. That is all class. No breaks. And the Cayman Islands, who amassed 7 points in their group, poised to get out of League C for the first time. And the Bahamas are going to need 4 goals in about 40 minutes. Oh. Barbados have picked this up in dangerous territory off the post. Follow Vanderpool Nurse, no. What a blast for Barbados. Oh, this would have been stunning from Niall Reed-Stephen. And then Vanderpool Nurse scuffs the follow. Wow. The Bahamas are under siege. 10 minutes out of halftime. Next the minute. Go ahead goal in the very opening stages. I've seen a marked collapse. And a side that they had led into the 80th minute in the previous meeting in September has now made it 5-2. Add in Lee Cox with Applewhite here in the second half. Turned by Vanderpool Nurse. Harnosand FC. Trying to round the corner. Play on. Contemplative of a cross. Comes high. Holligan sought the return. Deflects kindly. Grinding into the turf. Bahamas run away with this. They are getting absolutely demolished in this second half. And the Barbados manager has brought 2 subs over to join in a moment. Applewhite, Hoyt, Williams. Tough standing tackle, wins it back for the Bahamas. Rolled up by Massey. Driving, end line. Sliding, corner. Brutal corner to win at that. Mari Bain. Slid by Nikolai Brathwaite and got blown up by Williams. Approaching the hour mark now. Massey swinging inward. It was there. Appleweight. Hoyt. Williams. And a foul from Vanderpool Nurse. Well, are we just collectively playing out the string now? The Bahamas need 4 goals in 30 minutes. Truly miraculous to advance out of League C. Cayman Islands stand to advance with this result. Change. That's it for Reed Stephen. 6 goals, ties the most in League C. Hat trick against the U.S. Virgin Islands, scored from the spot here today. Amani Leacock off as well. Andre Butcher and Akeel Appleweight enter in off the Barbados bench.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Barbados in the 62nd minute. Leaving the game, number 9, Omani Leacock, and he will be replaced by
Barbados
number
have
11,
lost 8
Nadre Butcher.
consecutive games.
Leaving the game, number 10, Niall Reed Stephen, and he will be replaced by number
3 straight
7,
wins in this
Akeel
group,
Appleweight.
including a combined 8-0 two-legged drubbing of the U.S. Virgin Islands. 3-0 away, 5-0 at home in this group. So let's go back to Nations League B. After just a 1-year drop, Nicaragua got out of their group. The Dominican Republic and Montserrat stayed up. Set piece for the Bahamas. Cleared, plucked out of the air, bouncing along, settled by Vanderpool Nurse. To midfield and St. Fleur. To be fair, this a remarkable run for the Barbados. They took it away. They cashed in their 6th. Well, it didn't come out of much, but that should be the sealer. Ripped away by Sharon Hoyt. He scored in the 26th minute. He gets another in the 64th. And that should all but do it, if there is any doubt left.
Ladies and gentlemen,
5
goal for
goals
Barbados
away now.
scored by number 6, Sharon Hoyt, in the 64th minute.
Big smile for Hoyt. Pretty businesslike from the rest of Barbados. And the Bahamas have spectacularly imploded. They're scoring the opening goal after playing this Barbados side so tight. And now 5 of the last 6 goals belong to Barbados, including 3 now in the second half. It was just a 1-goal game at the break. Barbados have thrown the pedal down, and the Cayman Islands appear poised to head to League B for the first time. Richly deserved. St. Fleur uncorks as long a throw as he can. Delivered away by Butcher. One back, Hoyt. It's a pretty aggressive move from Barbados, up 4 goals. Ultimately, they won't pay a price for it. Well, we get to the end of this window. Worthy of a look at who's advanced. Barbados poised to get their 4th win in 4. 12 points will win Group A. Promotion, play-in round position. The upcoming Gold Cup, the Bahamas will finish 2nd at this rate. Bounds high, Massey. Run out is on for Barbados. Butcher running centrally. Ball never made it to him. It's going to be a hair sooner. Down goes Vanderpool Nurse. Free kick. Meanwhile, the U.S. Virgin Islands take just a singular point out of this group. An opening draw against the Bahamas in the Virgin Islands. They'll finish at the bottom. Group B, Turks and Caicos can still jump over Anguilla, but had no chance of advancing as the 2nd place finisher on just 3 points. They finish with Belize, who've already been promoted, advanced to the play-in round out of Group B. Meanwhile, in Group C, that'll be the 2-ticket group in 9-team League C. Ball whipped in by Applewhite, and a lead to a corner. British Virgin Islands skunked. Lost all 4 of their games. The only team that'll make that claim. St. Kitts and Nevis advance, promoted on 10. The Cayman Islands, this ball knocked across. The Bahamas lose or draw this game, and it appears that's what they'll get. The second place finisher with the most points. Collision of heads here. Sees Roming Jr. on the ground. Here's the most recent of the goals. A physical 26 foul bout. Sharon Hoyt in the 64th minute. Essentially confirmation. Stoppage for a head injury to Christopher Roming Jr. And he is wobbling toward the bench and being redirected toward the touchline. You'd have to think he should be coming off at this point. Put back in play here for the Bahamas with about 20 minutes to go. And turned over awkwardly. A trio of players swarming. Barbados sees this deflected, cleared off the line. Acrobatic play to turn it away. And instead of a butcher 7th, now the whistle. Pretty remarkable work from Jordan Cheatham. Cheats Butcher right out of a goal. This rings out of play. Brandon Adderley.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for Bahamas. In the 83rd minute, leaving the game will be
This
number
didn't come
8,
from us, did
Christopher
it?
Roming Jr.
Kind
and
deflection
entering
off
the
of
game will
Applewhite.
be number 20, Kai Perez.
Kai Perez in for Roming. That Jolmis. Didn't have much of a say in this game. There's Kai Perez. Shows up again. Gardiner. He's come up a bit lame. Same floor. Perez. Same floor losing the race. Won the angle. Butler pounds to the sideline. Williams. Hamid out. Spinning, and suddenly the numbers are good here. Ball in, Adderley. Went for goal, blocked by Primus. The final gasp from the Bahamas, perhaps. Impressive turn by Bain. Leading carry for Adderley. That's 2 chances in about 2 minutes. Joint leading scorer in the league. Applewhite, the brace. Assist to flex. And struck toward frame and again knocked aside by Primus. Best Barbados find their equilibrium
Ladies
soon.
and gentlemen, the
Giving
total
up 3
attendance for today's
chances
match is 691. We
truthfully
want to
no
say
good
thank you to
reason.
all of the
You're
fans
4 goals
who
up.
attended this 2024 to 2025
I promise it
Concacaf
won't be this
Nations League.
simple in League B. You concede chances like this to a guy who leads the league in scoring. Get away with it 3 times. Alas, corner for the Bahamas. Flicked onto the backside. They'll try again. It's Barbados team that 23 years ago scored the biggest win in footballing history against Costa Rica World Cup qualifying. Seek their first ever appearance at the Gold Cup. Punched away this time by Primus. Carry muscled over the line by Applewhite. Shimmied through for Applewhite. Angle keeps getting tighter. Trying to play off Butcher on the backside. And there are subs. Darius Boyce. Ron Otterson. Hinkson comes off after the yellow card accumulated in the 21st.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitutions for Barbados being made in the 79th minute. Leaving the game will be number 3, Andre Applewhite, number 8, Hayden Holligan, and number 12,
scored
Carl
in
Hinkson.
the 8th
They
and the
will be replaced by
52nd.
number 17, Darius Boyce, number 22, Janash Janai, and number 23, Jaron Otterson.
Janash Janai, third there, so 5 subs for Barbados. Boyce. Head by Applewhite. It's Keel. Out of play. Foul shy of halfway. That runs out. Here's Janai. Applewhite. Partial clearance. It's a bit more convincing. Clever bit of footwork there from Keel Applewhite, huh? Bahamas at the moment finishing 5 goals shy of what's necessary after conceding 6 tonight. Free kick, more time. Bristles off the clock. Barbados salting away their 4th win in the group.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for the Bahamas. Leaving the field of play, number 16, William Gardner, and he will be replaced by number 2, LaKenson Cherry.
Kenson Cherry for the Bahamas, their 3rd sub. Ball laced across, and ricochets ultimately cleared, punched by Butler. He has shown some really athletic tape tonight. I'm not sure if Vanderpool Nurse knew anything about that. Into the box, contact, that is going to be yellow for simulation. Nadre Butcher. Through ball, brilliant. Save, Butler, follow. Turned away from Vanderpool Nurse.
Ladies and gentlemen, yellow card issued to number 11, Nadre Butcher of Barbados in the 83rd minute.
What a ball that is. Should be a simple finish for Akil Applewhite, if not for Butler making himself big, makes the second save. Vanderpool Nurse, who couldn't buy a goal tonight. And with 6 minutes remaining, it remains a 4-goal game. Bahamas turning their attention forward. A little spin, collected by Darius Boyce. Butcher, with the yellow card a moment ago. Butcher. And will deflect out of play. Should do about nothing. Akil Applewhite, final effort. Apparently didn't feel a good way to get to Khalil Vanderpool Nurse from here, who, to be fair, stood in an offside position for a substantive moment of that. And the crowd here in Barbados have largely gotten what they came for. Would have predicted 6 goals, their biggest outburst of the tournament. Initial clearance, plucked out of the air. Didn't go from Holligan. "17 goals in 4 games for Barbados, 10 for the Bahamas. End line, cut back. And striking Morris, followed, deflects, and pinballs away. Vanderpool Nurse must be sick to his stomach. I mean, wow. Barbados has gotten about every bounce in this game but one to this point. The deflected own goal before halftime, and that's a couple of net mouth clearances from the Bahamas. Woo. Launching forward off the halfway line again. Divvied off to Janai. Charging forward, Butcher. Butcher blocked. Came high, deflected off the back heel of Janai. Offside. You would never get this in Nations League A. It's 6 goals to 2, and they're still going at it. Above the bar, 87 minutes in. Looks like Butler's night is about to conclude. Vance Wheaton in the trio of subs. There's the Bahamas. Jan Johnson for Julmus, who we've been told came out earlier. Was not the case. There's Wheaton for Butler. Get in here with a couple minutes remaining. Get his feet wet. Walter Sawyer on for Bain. Barbados load up again.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitutions for Bahamas being made in the 88th minute. Leaving the field of play will be number 9, Wood Jumis,
Applewhite.
number 1, Michael Butler, and number 14, Omari Bain. They will be replaced by number 13, Nam Johnson, number 18, Vance Wheaton, and number 12, Walter Sawyer Jr.
That's it, sub-wise for the Bahamas. They made one before kickoff with the Miller injured in warm-ups. Gardner came on for him. And so only Jack Massey won't get the chance to play in this game on the Bahamian bench. The reality is goal difference for the first time in League C is irrelevant. This is signed, sealed, delivered. The winner of this game is officially Barbados. The rain pours down. It's the Cayman Islands who emerge as the ultimate victor on this night. They had the most to win or lose. And the referee, who has a funny sense of humor, sees 5 minutes on the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the sideline has indicated
starts
that
to
there
pour
will
down.
be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time in the second half.
Morris. Throw for Boyce. Well, we thought the rain would hold off in this window. We were wrong. 4 more minutes under what's become a pouring rain, a driving rain, one that's sent most of the fans streaming toward the exit. This fumbled, but now held by Primus. Now he'll scoop it up. Rolls that out. Turf is going to play a little slicker from here. White. Morris. From Boyce, Janai. Hoyt. Hoyt unloads. Boyce. Boyce. From Applewhite, the return. Applewhite leading. And grabbed by Vance Wheaton. First time he's been called upon since entering into the game. '19-year-old from Nassau. captain of the Dragons, striker and goalkeeper for Craig Massey. On to the University of Tampa. Really cool moment for him. Through down the right-hand side. Up and above, offside anyway. Another minute to play. And this is one to forget for the Bahamas. It started with so much promise. So the sides that will get through, Barbados, perfect 12 points. Belize will play against Turks and Caicos later tonight, trying to have a perfect campaign in Nations League C. St. Kitts and Nevis advance to League B by virtue of their 10 points in Group C. Second place teams, it'll be the Cayman Islands finishing with 7. Either Anguilla or Turks and Caicos will be the best of League B's run outside of the top finisher. But ultimately, it'll finish shy of the Cayman Islands. The Bahamas came in on 4 points, only needed a win, be the top second place team. They're going to fall short of that fact. And substantially so on the last day. Remain down in League C for the upcoming Nations League season. Put in play. Speared back in front. There's the clearance. And that's it. It's full time. It is a perfect run through League C for Barbados. Promotion back to League B after just 1 year down. 12 points from 12. And the Bahamas, who had every chance with a win to go through, ultimately fall 6 goals to 2. And the Cayman Islands are headed to League B for the first time in the upcoming 5th edition of Concacaf Nations League. Well, Barbados simply smothered the Bahamian side in the second half.
Bahamas 2. We want to thank you for coming to
a dominant performance.
In this Concacaf Nations League.
The goals for Barbados, Andre Applewhite twice.
Good night.
The initial equalizer again in the 52nd to really put it out of reach. Niall Reed-Stephen, his 6th. Sharon Hoyt brace. Lonnie Leacock right out of halftime that blew this thing open. Brandon Adderley and Nikolai Brathwaite's own goal, the markers for the Bahamas. The final score in Barbados, Barbados 6, Bahamas 2. Nations League, League C, Group A, this the finale. Barbados already promoted. Bahamas win tonight. Promotion, the place in the play-in for the upcoming Gold Cup. It all seemed like the start of fantasy. 8th minute of play would see 2 goals. The first from Brandon Adderley in the 6th, but regrettably for the Bahamas, An 8th-minute equalizer from Andre Applewhite. A great initial save. Applewhite there to clean it up. And denies Michael Butler the starring role. 1-1. 5 minutes later, penalty conceded. Niall Reed-Steven goes down. He scores. 2-1 Barbados. They would never look back. This would be the only real kerfuffle of the half. Yellow card given to Hinkson for the aftermath. Brathwaite, the tackle. Massey, the yellow for dissent. All the while, Barbados would start stacking them up. Be Hoyt in the 26th. They'd be right out of halftime for Leacock. After a 3-2 halftime deficit, it grew quickly. That's a 4th for Barbados. This would come with a yellow card shortly thereafter. This is Applewhite. Classy finish in the 52nd. This rung off the post. Ultimately rolled wide by the one man who could not find a goal, Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. Ultimately the 6th and the 64th from Sharon Hoyt. Barbados dominates the Bahamas in the second half of play. 3 goals in 20 minutes out of the break to put it away. A trio of chances late, including this from Brandon Adderley, turned away by Kishmar Primus. Butcher goes down, shown a yellow for simulation. Butcher playing through for fellow halftime sub Akil Applewhite. And eventually it finishes 6-2 in favor of Barbados. Well, it began with such hope for the Bahamas winning in, and they scored the opening goal, but 31 shots for Barbados, including a 3-goal outburst in the second half. From a 1-goal lead to a 4-goal drubbing. Barbados perfect in League C Group A, 12 points. Promoted, the Bahamas will fail to be the second place team with the best record as they finish on just 4 points. The Cayman Islands through as well, and that seals the fate of each team in League C this year. Our appreciation for you joining us and for being a part of Concacaf Nations League throughout the League C campaign. For our entire team in Barbados and beyond, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching. It finishes Barbados 6, Bahamas 2. Good night, and so long for now.